morning, everybody. Let me remind you that trading is risky, not appropriate for everyone. Your past performance, good or bad, is not necessarily indicative of future results. Please always stay small, stay humble, focus on the long term, and never risk money you cannot afford to lose. Thank you for being here at Forex.Today for our daily Forex trading strategy session, where we'll cover technical analysis and get you ready for the day. What do you think? Excited? Another trading day? Well, let me just say life is great, life is grand, life is good, life is beautiful with you in my life. Okie dokie. So, good morning. Really good to see you. My name is Wayne. I'm the Chief FX Market Strategist for TradersWay.com. Thank you for being a client. You are appreciated. If you're not, swing on by, open up a demo account, at least get to know us, see what our back office is like, test our execution on our demo accounts even faster in the live account. Maybe talk to our customer service. We want to fall in love with you. So give us a call. Let's dance. Do these sessions 7:30 every single morning, Monday through Thursday here at Forex.Today for free. And every Friday I'm at FX Street for premium members only. At FX Street, I'm also Forex Speaker of the Year. So what currency pairs would you like me to cover today, ladies and germs? British pound, Aussie dollar. Looking at those yens, yep, feeling very heavy. Euro dollar, Euro Aussie. Yeah, seems all pretty straightforward, huh? Okay, we'll just go through these and then I'll go through those. Smells like a plan, right? Cool. We'll start here with Noki. We were watching Noki get strong versus Euro, plausibly off of a agreement on OPEC. It's been several days, but it's still bearish, right? If you zoom in, right? You can see the plan here, pull back. This is I did some examples of how you could swing trade this and have multiple entries, one up here, one down here, for example, one on this move. You'd have all your stops clustered up here. This is what that's supposed to be. I know it's not the world's greatest cluster, but stop judging me, man. Right? And you let this run. That kind of thing. So that's still going on. And Norway obviously would benefit from higher Brent prices. Okay? Brent being the oil they're sucking out of the North Sea. I wonder if I can import used Teslas from Norway. They must be cheaper there. I used to know of a Frenchman that would drive around California looking for old Porsches, very particular old Porsches, and then you'd have to dismantle them into just boxes of car parts because the French customs, you know, significantly cheaper on car parts than cars. And then he would save enough money that when it got to France, he would just have it reassembled. All right, so this is our Mexican peso. If you recall, this had everything to do with the first day of the month. First Friday, actually, you remember? I think it was it a Wednesday or a Thursday? I think it might have been a Wednesday, the first of the month. And I extended it out a little farther. December 1st was a Thursday. So I said, maybe Friday-ish, right? Thursday, but maybe as late as Friday, which is actually fairly late for this move. But Friday's payday, right, bro? Isn't it interesting that no matter what global environment we're in, no matter what the macroeconomics are, no matter what the geopolitical situation, I mean, this is the huge Trump effect, driving the U.S. dollar sky high versus a Mexican peso that's crashing. Right? That's the scenario we've been in for a while. And that scenario hasn't changed, right? I mean, the Trump effect. Every dog and his fleas is now aware of the Mexican peso, right? And yet, we can say, yeah, somewhere around here it's going to fall. I mean, come on, you must like love that. No? Where they're talking on TV about the Trump effect and the Mexican peso's falling. Even your buddies know about it. And you could say, yeah, that's true, but in like 48 hours, the Mexican peso is going to get strong. No? You don't love that? Maybe you heard on CNBC or Bloomberg, or maybe you read in Financial Times or Wall Street Journal, right? Maybe you read that it's suddenly going to get strong. I bet you didn't. So that's where being smart money is awesome. I guess it's always awesome, right? Right? But no, right? Yes? Why are you guys so quiet today? Is my mic low? Right? But no, I mean, right? No? Yes? I mean, we do sit here and talk about this coming up like, yeah, Thursday, but maybe as late as Friday, this is going to like head down, right? I mean, imagine that. I mean, think of it. You're predicting the future. It hasn't even happened yet. You're like, yeah, it's been weak all month. It's been crashing. It's headline news that the Mexican peso is crashing and the USD Mexican peso is going straight up like a rocket ship. Except the one day we sell it, or sell the pair, the Mexican peso skyrockets, beating out the US dollar. It's suddenly stronger than the US, the reserve currency of the entire world. Richard, you need to watch the video. There's a video where I teach people how to trade it, and in particular, why. Let's get this window. No, I went down here. All right. My window's too big. Hang on. YouTube.com. How to trade the Mexican peso Forex. Let's do it that way. Oh, this one. 12-minute videos. Yeah. Nadex, man. There you go. Oh, yeah. So anyways, I just wondered if you guys actually pay attention to these things. I mean, I know we did talk about it, and we talk about it every month and all that kind of stuff. But even though it's not new, I'm always just fascinated by having the knowledge, right? That we could sit here and say, yeah, down here. We wouldn't have thought the same around here, but here, definitely, right? And just magically, even if you didn't trade it, just still magically down, up, down, right? I mean, look at it just, look at it move. I mean, it's just redonkulous, right? Well, that's funny to be so. So I think you guys listen to too much news. Like I honestly watch no news. So the Trump dump and the Trumponomics and so I guess it's a virtue, or maybe it can be a risk, but I see it as a virtue of being an experienced independent trader. Like I don't pay attention to any of that. That sounds like a great headline though, the Trump dump. Um, hmm. But yeah, if it's not on the central bank's website, I probably don't care. And the rest I could see through technical analysis and macroeconomics. So the Trump dump though, that's a great one. Don't care about it though. All right. So Goldilocks, the closer we get to 1,000, the more likely it's going to go up. It still feels very sideways, don't you think? Let me, I think I can move this. I can't grab this side, can I? Yeah, there we go. So the thing is that going to act as resistance, or are we going to come back up here? That part I never really know. But like, if we were looking at this, it's only a 30-minute. Hang on. Client just sent me something. I can't click on that meeting. Okay. All right, let me put that. So remember, somewhere between now and the end of the year, this may wimp out. And if it's not the end of the year, it's like the beginning of next year, right? So let's say in the next 4 weeks, any trend that you see, not all of them, but any of them are vulnerable to be at an end. Okay? And it looks like we've made it out of Thanksgiving alive, right? And we'll go into the yen pairs, right? But I'm thinking a lot now, especially as we're done with NFP. The next risk event is the Fed, and then the end of the year, right? So between now and the end of the year, we got to be very realist, if you want. Oh, and the ECB. Okay, okay, Joseph. Right? Oh, the ECB. What's the ECB going to do that's going to be so important, right? Like, come on, guys. So I know you guys listen to news. When you watch the news, were they freaking out about the Italian referendum? Like it could possibly be the end of the world, right? Like, oh my God, this could crash everything, right? Right? Ooh. And what did we learn? I mean, Italy is an important country. It's very historic. It is a big economy. It does have a lot of money. It's certainly more important than Greece was, right? But is it another UK? Right? No. So, like, would whatever happened on that? Let's say either way. So the no vote, the yes vote, whatever. Was it really going to change central banking policy at the ECB? Yeah, Doomy says, yeah, it has more to do with leadership than I get all that. And in fact, it's kind of sad because Italy, I believe, is a very difficult place to do business. Multiple ways, just business laws, business taxation, the political system. So I study international political economics at Harvard, and we look at all these different things. And Italy is probably a very difficult, very frustrating place that requires patience to do business with, which in this world means you're just not competitive, right? So, for someone to come in politically and say, we need to change this, we need to address these issues, then cool, right? And the fact that it didn't pass, well, I'm not that tuned into Italian politics, but I guess they don't want to. They want to stay the way they are, which is fine by me. I mean, right? But nothing was going to affect the ECB, right? I mean, Draghi, yes, sure, he's Italian, so I'm sure he cared. But interest rates weren't going to go up. They were not going to stop quantitative easing. I mean, all this stuff, right? It was going to have zero effect. So you were watching the news, reading the newspapers, listening to all the people chatter about what it all means. And of course, unless you're Italian, it didn't mean a dang thing. It's just, I guess, another form of proof where you need to be your own man, sort of thing, right? Is it still important to be aware of, though? Well, I always filter everything through the first question of, will something impact the central banking policy of this economy? Right? So again, another example, we've talked about it before, where like China and Japan, arguing over islands, right? You remember this one? And it was a big deal, and maybe it'll be a world war, right? Really? Sounds like somebody's a little excited, but right? But to me, I'm like, okay, that's fine. And I'm sure it is politically tense. There's lots of diplomats, having 3 martini lunches with each other. Great. Great. Everyone's very, very concerned, and it is very important. But unless missiles fly, I'm not gonna jump from my. Or let's switch it another way. If you were managing billions and billions of dollars, and it took you years to build your portfolio, right? You bought Bank of America $5. It's now $22. Do you want to get out now? No, you could probably sit on it for the next 45 years and make money doing nothing, right? You don't want to get out. So, unless the central banking policy is going to change drastically enough to force you out of that trade, you really just don't want to do anything. Status quo, right? You're locked into your positions, aren't you? So this is where I filter everything out. Like Italy, no vote. Okay. Well, that's gonna change everything drastically at the ECB. I mean, Greece was 10 times worse. Now it's a smaller economy, but it was 10 times worse. It actually was on the brink of financial collapse. Italy's not there, right? And they want to change some constitutional, great, fine. But it's not going to get a billionaire out of his long-term positions. If anything, a billionaire is going to go in there and buy up a bunch of Italian banks for pennies on the dollar. Okay? So like the domestic institutional side of the Italian election, that, obviously populism in Italy could change things there. But would that change any international economic institutions? Like, is the ECB going to change? Is the IMF going to change their outlook? And for the whole Eurozone, and of course those bigger answers are no, they're not going to change. Nothing's changing. So I don't need to change my point of view. So it's not that important to me. Now I wonder how my Italian friends voted from America, but okay. But I'll tell you, I'll make one more comment. You know what I did the other day while I was trading? It'll give you another hint of how I feel about it. I looked at castles for sale in Italy. Yeah, you can buy castles in Italy. They're beautiful. So I swear to you, I looked at online. I looked at about 7 castles. And I thought, wouldn't that be sweet? Because the euro's tanking, right? Like, what can I buy cheap? Right? When the euro's down at 80, what am I going to do? Damn, man. Let's buy a vineyard in Tuscany with a castle. I'll have a garage full of Ferraris. You're like, damn, boy. Right? So I swear to you, that's what I was doing like just probably yesterday. I can't remember, so long ago. Okay, so that's how I feel about it. All right, so anyways, we're on the bottom of our channel. We're even breaking out a little lower, just kind of moving along. Okay, this is our kitty cat. Now, the thought process that I have is, they were going to do a deal, and they did do a deal. Of course they did a deal. They were all desperate, right? But the other side of this is the deal is not going to work. At some point, we're going to have to think about moving this north again. Is it now? Well, yeah, could, right? Could be a rabbit, could be. By the way, I saw one. He called it a castle. I don't think it was really a castle, but I did see one in South Africa, right on the coast. It's like a large stone house, if you will, and it was on the side of a hill. Like you couldn't see it from any road. You couldn't, you know, but you could walk down onto your own, beach and probably, break your legs on the rocks and then fall in and be eaten by sharks. But it looked pretty. Some good deals in the south of France too, by the way, if you're looking. Whoop, whoop, whoop. All right, so going back to the oil deal, we knew they would do a deal. We knew it would go up. Okay, all of that is done, right? Now the question is, now what, right? When is it going to fail? Well, that I don't know, obviously, but we have some prices set here. If you look at, we have some obvious levels already identified. And we did it. Pretty interesting here, this move up, right, down, consolidate, breakout, boom, boom. On a 4-hour, you probably haven't measured here. Isn't that a coincidence that the bottom is a 618? What an amazing coincidence. So this 1382 should be enough, according to the rules of Leonardo Fibonacci. Yeah, Dumi's been looking at south of France. There's an area in the Côte d'Azur just above Monaco. They look really nice, but they're up on the hills, like they're way up, but you can see the sea. And I thought, oh yeah. And then what you'll probably find out though is probably take you an hour and a half to get up to your own house, and then an hour and a half to get down to the town. So I'm like, oh, kind of need to go there first. So, yeah, so it's high enough, right? It's high enough. You're probably going to look at, weekly pivot points and stuff, not just daily. And then try to look for those types of patterns, right? So if you thought we were high enough, we did the 618 to 1382, then you're going to pay attention to really any of these lower lows, lower high scenarios, right? Because if it does this and it looks like it is, then that's not bullish anymore, is it? Okay, so we'll see. In that case, it'll have to tickle the 21, zip up, and my experience here, because of this 21 on this time frame, if it is going to head down, we need to now fib this whole move here from the projected new low to the old high, and that gives us a three-wave correction on a smaller time frame back to the 52, and then that's a 618. So that predicts the 1382 down here, which is this move. Okay, you got that? So now on a 15-minute chart, this move that hasn't happened yet, this bigger move, can't really squeeze that in there. You're going to see higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low up into this area, the three wave on the 15-minute, and then the continuation back down. Does that make sense? So we're talking about two different things on two different time frames, fulfilling one larger pattern. Got it? So not really straight down yet, but down and then kind of tinker up and then down. Yeah, true that, Alan. But the truth be told to the whole thing, and I have talked about it till I'm blue in the face, but I guess it's worth one more try. The problem with oil prices doesn't have anything to do with OPEC. It's not even an OPEC issue. That's why it's silly to think OPEC can fix it. OPEC can't fix it, but even if they tried to fix it, which I think they might actually be trying, there's no way. I mean, as a cartel, I think those days. I think their days as a cartel are over. But even if they were acting as a group, and even if they could, it doesn't address the underlying issue. The underlying issue is nobody's in control of the U.S. market. So you drive oil prices up to 60, and Americans are now the swing state, and they just overproduce and drive it back down. See, Saudi Arabia used to be the swing state, and the definition of swing state means you have spare capacity. If there's an abruption in the supply chain or the supply line for oil, if there's a hurricane in the Gulf of Mexico or something like that, or an explosion at a major oil facility somewhere around the world, right? Well, then, or like the fires in Fort McMurray, Canada, takes 1 million barrels a day offline. Well, Saudi Arabia could just always just increase oil production by 1 million barrels a day, and like, okay, and oil prices stay steady. That's okay. They were a swing producer. They're now pumping oil at 100% capacity. They don't have spare capacity. They're not a swing state anymore. So who's the swing state? Who's the one that can influence prices? The United States. So if oil prices go up, boom, and nobody's in control. It's just completely out of control. So they'll just way overproduce, and it has nothing to do. And OPEC can cut. OPEC could stop pumping oil. Well, not that dramatic, but they could significantly cut, significantly drive up oil prices, and the United States could significantly drive them back down. So it's like OPEC's not even the one in control, right? So there you go. So that's why, if I were me, I would bet against it. Don't forget, we got the dairy auction today. Are you going to trade the kiwi? Anyone trading the Fonterra? Yup. So gold, yeah. Oil, yeah. CAD, yeah. Yeah, okay, we can go to the yen, USD yen. Nothing's changed here. Just been sitting here for days. Right? I leave my trade open, remains at break even for days. She told me in the morning she don't feel the same about the yen in her bones. Seems to me that when I cry, these tears will be running down my nose to my toes. So anyway, so all of that's all good. Look at that 618. Boom! All hail Mexican peso. All right, so let's go back to, let's pick a yen, any yen. I'll see. And I'll be gone tonight. So we left it here yesterday. I thought it was a 4 hour. Daily? Yeah, I guess it was daily. If you recall, dip into the ribbons. Sorry, alligators. What the heck's an alligator? Is anyone going to go out and get their market technician thing certification? It's supremely important. You know exactly what an alligator is. How is it calculated and what does it mean? Who cares? No, Doomy, not yet. I mean, yeah, it's so different from a moving average. It's just ridiculous. These alligators are like crazy awesome. Oh my God, you still use moving averages? Amateur. I'm an alligator man. Timeline wise, I don't know, Doomy. I'm doing it as a gift when I get time. You know, bear in mind, yeah. Bear in mind, I have to pay money to do this for you. And I don't mind spending the money. I need some time. Yeah. Did you open up a live account? Is that why? You opened up a live account because I said that and then now you're waiting? You're like, Wayne, you promised me? Is that the whole thing? You know, maybe over like the Christmas holidays or something, you know, that kind of stuff. Right now I'm in final examinations. I have a 16-page paper due, and I have a 3-hour written exam up in Cambridge. So, oh yeah, well, bear in mind, Doomy, that you would have to open a live account to get it. It will, yeah, okay, cool. I'll get it to you. I'm sorry if I sound cranky. I probably am. I don't get enough sleep. Yeah. Oh, okay. So let's. Do we need to use this one? Well, I guess so. Okay. So this is daily, right? And where do you think we're going to run out of juice? It's funny. There's no pivots. Oh, there is pivot. Well, I'll leave those ones there. I don't know what all that is down there. But anyways, the monthly pivots up here are what I'm thinking, right? So I drew this for some other reason. It had to do with a Fibonacci target. Let me get rid of that. So I want you to think about this because I don't have answers for you. You're going to have to think about it, right? I put you long. If you remember, all through September, I'm sorry, all through the summer, June, July, and August, I prepared you to be long the yen pairs. I know it's true. You know it's true. Everybody knows it's true. Third week of August was the particular week. Can anybody confirm that? That maybe in March, we were talking about the third week of August, right? Right? At least 6 months in advance. Because it's the same every year. So if you paid attention 2 years ago, you knew 2 years ago the third week of August, right? So I mean, it's silly, right? So where's the third week of August to be long pound yen? August, September. So it's in here somewhere. Okay. Doesn't look too bad, does it? It's not perfectly accurate. What do you think? It's not bad, right? For 6 months in advance that we could talk about it. We can talk about getting ready for it. We can talk about it, hey, in about 20 days. Hey, in about 22 hours, right? Yeah, Trump killed your trade. Yeah, no doubt. But still, right? So what about when do you get out? And that's the next question, right? And if anytime we kind of get to realistic levels of resistance, you should seriously, seriously, seriously consider them. Any one of these lines are serious levels of resistance. Is it going to happen, now? Is it going to happen before the Fed meeting? Is it going to happen after the Fed meeting? Is it going to happen during, in that period between Christmas and New Year's? Is it going to happen the first week of January? I don't know the answer to any of those. Okay. So when you get to these areas, or if we get to these areas, you should seriously consider them for what they are. Okay. Dumi says January. Yeah, that'd be great. I never know. It's different every year. Okay. So it's just sort of being aware. So we've had a big down day on the yens if you're looking at 15-minute charts, right? This is what it looks like on a daily, however. Maybe. What do you think? Okay. That means if you're a bull, you were looking at the role reversal for potential entry. Okay. And then, of course, the pivot would be the next one. You can see pivot was more better. Also comes down to, like, in this giant red candle, did the 15-minute chart really give you an entry? No. No. Okay. You can see here on a 15-minute chart, a double bottom looks pretty handsome, doesn't it? And now, if things go well as a bull, it should give you the higher high, higher low scenario from here, right? Up to this resistance. And that's going to have a big down, maybe even triple bottom, but let's put it like this, and then back up. Why is it going to do that in my theory? The bear fib, yeah, it has to do with those that are looking at this on a smaller time frame and sees these as a series of lower lows and lower highs. Oh man, I did this twice already. I don't want that either. All right, well, let's just leave that. There we go. They're going to have this fibbed. Okay. Then it's going to come down. It'll fail. Bulls take over again. Then you get the higher high, and it's going to come up to this area. Okay. And probably even back down into here, then up, or straight on through. Okay. So hopefully you get all that subtle technical analysis. I guess we'll do beast. And I'll be gone tonight. Houston, we've got ourselves a problem. Okay, a failure for a higher high is a serious breach of protocol for a bull. I'm not saying it's over, but that is not good. So you need to recognize that even if it's not over, if you're a bull, your risk has gone up. Okay? It's not a debate. Your risk has gone up. Most likely it'll consolidate, but you know, not going up is the beginning of down, isn't it? Okay. So you see this area, we had a similar thing, right? You know, almost 100%. I think we can call it 100%, greater than 786 retracement, right? And then triple bottom. I mean, we're really struggling, right? Up, down, right? And then, okay. So maybe we're just waiting for the 4 hour to catch up. Okay. So fine, we got to pay attention. But it's this move that's supposed to be producing the higher high. So we kind of need to do it sooner than later, right? But it's very overbought on multiple time frames. Where's the daily 5? Well, I can't quite see it on this one. On the smaller time frame, for those that are bringing it down, this is your sell zone, right? That just gets you down to the bottom of the channel. Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do. Oil's coming down fast. Nice. Okay. So watch your oscillators. Watch your oscillators because this looks like sideways, which makes you vulnerable to a downside move, right? Some point, you know, the trend may do, instead of, as you can see, these trend lines going up. If we don't giddy up anytime soon, then the risk is that this becomes a downtrend, doesn't it? Okay, we're not quite there yet, but lower highs are never good. It's a heads up to move stops. It's a heads up to maybe use smaller lot sizes. It's a heads up to do something. What amateur traders tend to do is they don't recognize their risk are increasing. They just trade it like it's any other trade. They just keep doing what they always do, which is throw down trades and hope for the best. La 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 la. Waiting for this moment for all my life, running after you, like chasing the clouds. Range or consolidation? I kind of use them interchangeably.
Balance for October expected minus $42 billion. Canada October trade balance expected minus $1.7 billion.
Brazil central bank minutes earlier hinting that they had still have room for more rate cuts. BNP believing that the set up target be cut to 9% by 2018. It's currently 13.75.
What? Cut interest rates all the way down to 9%? Don't be crazy. You crazy. 9% and that's ridiculous.
The third quarter final U.S. non-farm productivity and October trade balance data in just a few seconds.
13% interest rates in Brazil, huh? Wow.
Productivity 3.1% is 2 times lower than expected. Unit labor cost at 0.7% is 4 points higher than expected. Trade balance minus 42.6 billion, a little wider than minus 42 billion expected. Prior revised to minus 36.2 billion from minus 36.4 billion. Canada trade minus 1.1 billion versus minus 1.7 billion expectation. Prior revised wider minus 4.4 billion from minus 4.1 billion.
I don't have the Fonterra yet. Maybe I'll check the website. Maybe it's just not reported. It's still not out yet. I thought it was out at 8:30. Is it 10? Yeah. 9:30? Really? No. It's funny, like, how could it possibly be delayed? Are they still doing the calculations? Like, there's some guy, he's like doing the calculations. He's like, just wait, I'm almost done. I'm almost done. Like, why are you delayed, dude? Come on, Roger, we have to go. They're waiting. Wait, I'm almost there. Wait for it. Roger. Yeah. Oh, it's in metric. Damn. So you guys want to go to Cuba to do a Forex trading event? that right, Ryan? Running after you. Yeah, I like the Forex.Today calendar. Anyways, I thought it was at 8:30, but I don't have any data for you. Here's the website. You know, it hasn't been updated. It's still four and a half, as you guys know from last month. Yeah. So no change, nothing, not yet. All right, I guess we can go through the news. There shouldn't be anything market moving. We'll double check. U.S. trade balance 42.6 versus 42 expected. Imports 229, exports 186. We imported a little more than last month. We exported a little less than last month. So imports up, exports down. I'm okay with that actually. Canadian trade, none of that. U.S. non-farm productivity and labor costs. Productivity down, cost up. Oh my gosh, the 2017 Italian budget will be approved on Wednesday, December 7th. No way. Thanks for that. Cool. So I was just here. I thought for some reason that we were going to get this dairy stuff. But... Oh my God, is it just me or am I tired? Woo. Okay, so anyways, that seems very sideways, right? Go to a 4 hour. There's still some hope left, right? And this is where you end up biting your fingernails if you're in like a bunch of carry trades because you all these lines in the sand are being watched, right? And you need to decide where do you bail? You know, what's your Alamo? And often what I do, and it's not always the right decision, by the way, but I'll tell you what I often do, good, bad, or ugly. Um, Not going up means get out. You know what I mean? If it just moves sideways, it means the carry trade, which is up. I mean, truly, carry trade is just for the carry. But let's say a bullish trade, not not going up, it means get out. And often I get out a little too early, but hey, if you're getting out for profit, don't cry.
Until after this budget law was passed.
You know what I'm talking about? Sideways is not up. That'd make a good T-shirt, huh? Maybe I should Teespring that. So at 10 o'clock today, we got Canada IVPMI. We have factory orders. We have durable goods. Okay. So pretty good trading, you know, scalp opportunity at 10. The only problem is there's so many different pieces of news that if they all happen to agree, if they're all dollar bullish, then the dollar takes off. If they're mixed, sometimes you get a pop and a reverse, right? Sometimes just nothing happens. So I don't know. Pray for congruency. 10-year T-note currently 2.39. S&P 500 futures 2207 and a half. Oil 50.75 on its way down. It was like 53, wasn't it? So oil is down 2.07% so far today. Whoop, whoop. And I think that's probably down for 2 days in a row now, huh? But bear in mind, I was pretty clear. OPEC was definitely going to do a deal. Oil is definitely going to go up, and then most definitely it'll come back down. Well, that was quick, man. Euro dollar flat. I'm praying though in the next 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 or 8 weeks, we have the 10-year T-note yield come back down. One more last hurrah. So maybe January, a very significant pullback in the U.S. stock market again. One last move for 10-year T-note. So I'm staying open-minded. And the nice thing about that is being in the beginning of the year, you have that fear. And it's one of these things where I think just a lot of people will jump on it really quickly. So that's Kiwi, CAD. I mean, they're all kind of the same, right? I mean, it's all the same. CAD, you know. What do you want to do? S&P maybe? Just got to break it up. We haven't done the S&P in a long time. So I think up into the new year and then back around. Okay. So we had this not long ago. If you look to the left. Also, if you look at the 21, that's a little launch zone, isn't it? Okay. This whole area between the 5 and the 21 is a launch pad, right? Boo, 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 doo, doo, doo. Boo, 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 boo. Waiting for this moment for all my life. Should go back even, can I go even farther back? Weekly? Okay. So here's the dramatic drop in, here. So this is the whole year now, if I kind of zoom in weekly. Yeah, okay, here's the big drop, right? And how many times this year have I told you to short the stock market because it made sense both technically or fundamentally? I guess I'll go back to the daylight. Let's do it this way. That's close to the, if I click one more, it's one too many. How many times, guys? Can't put the year in, no matter what I do. Yeah, none. Thank you, fundamentals and technicals. Of course, this big thing move down was scary for a lot of people. If you recall, this was a buy zone, and I believe I had it drawn like this. Right? Can anyone confirm? And we spent less than 1 day under that zone, and this was like, if it broke, it was going to crash. At that point, I was going to freak out. But this was a buy. Yeah, and it was a moment of truth. We got down to the day. You know, and I have a fairly, I have a fairly decent sized stock portfolio. I feel these things like everybody else, right? My wife looked at her 401k and said, "Holy crap, should I be worried?" I'm like, "No, baby doll." And she said it like right in here too, right? I'm like, "No, I got a line. It should go up in a day or two." She's like, "Okay." And it went up. Yeah. Yeah. So, just technical analysis and then the fundamentals, right? This was just um, the stock market went up because the Fed was, you know, talking about 4 rate hikes and stuff, and then we very quickly realized it wasn't 4. Easy. Ding, 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 ding. Whole life, it's bigger. Did you know REM's actually from around these parts where I live? That was just a dream. So I am a perpetual bull in the stock market unless the central bank tells me to get out. I'm not always a bull. One of the greatest trades that I remember, um, it was, I'm going to guess, 2007 or early 2008. We had a very significant drop in the stock market, and I had fibbed a 618 Fibonacci retracement that hadn't happened yet. And it took, like, no joke, like 3 months, 4 months to get back to form the lower high for a massive crash. And we waited for months for it to head back up right to our line. You hit the 618 creating, and then just red line. They created a lower high. It was just great to wait all that time. Wait for it, wait for it. Oh, we're here. This week the stock market's probably going to crash, and boom, it crashed. Boom, 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 boom. Just amazing. So all I'm saying is I'm not always a bull, but I'm a bull unless the central bank has told me otherwise. Okay. And the simple part of that point of view is that if you look at the market participants, most market participants in the stock market get paid when it goes up. That's it. So most people want it to go up. So it should go up. Yeah, there are those, hedge funds that are short sellers and all that kind of stuff. That's fine. Fine, 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 fine. Most market participants make money when it goes up. So it will have a propensity to go up more often than it comes down. Now, when it comes down fast because stops and all that kind of stuff, but then people buy it back up. Okay. But, you know, if we make a lower low, if we're down here suddenly, you know, okay, forget it. But very often doesn't do that. Oh, life is bigger. Mexican confidence coming up at the top of the hour. Little con. Ay, 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 ay. All right, and with that, you know, I guess it's just caution. You know, don't believe it's going to go up forever, but pay attention to where the support is, and start making contingency plans. When do you get out? Start dealing with that now, huh? Okay. So peace on earth. May the pips be with you. May our profits be above average. USD CAD heading up, coming up to a pivot, coming up to a moving average. Be cautious of that. But USD CAD going up makes sense since oil is coming down. We're getting very close to the 50 psych level, so anything can happen there. I'll see you tomorrow. I wouldn't call it warning, Pedro. Let's do it this way. I think I had phrased it, you know, that we need to be realists. Make sure you're cognizant of the fact that we are approaching a period of likely change, and you need to see reality as much as possible, not what you want to see. That's confirmation bias. You want to see reality as much as possible, right? So let's all be aware, let's all be realists, and be just hyper focused, which means you're analyzing and thinking and making decisions and not just hoping and praying and all that kind of stuff. Yeah. So take care, guys. I'll be here tomorrow. See you. Cheers.